racism. I wanted to talk about racism. I figured, I don't know. I just felt like this was a good opportunity to share some thoughts because I've actually been kind of quiet about it on social media. One of my friends pointed that out to me. And I realized that people are putting out all sorts of statements and where they stand and all these different things. And I'm an advocate too. So where do I stand? Well, I want to get personal here and say that this has been a very difficult time in our country. Watching the video of the murder of George Floyd and the aftermath and just all of the other race-related things that are just out there. And I know that at the same time, racism isn't the only issue people have in life. It's one of many. And there are some real problems that need some real change, that really need some real targeted change that's permanent change. And I believe that change actually starts with ourselves. I know that sounds cheesy. I just so sounded like a motivational speaker right there, but it's true. It really, really does. And it involves looking at yourself first, and especially when it comes to advocacy. As advocates, especially when it comes to race-related issues, I believe that it's really important for us to have real conversations with people, real conversations, and a lot of them need to be uncomfortable conversations. I am a fan of sitting with someone who has different views than me and exploring so I can understand. And I believe that that is important now more than ever. We live in a world where people don't like being in the same space with someone who thinks differently than them. Oh, you're this political party or that political party, you're good, bad because of this. I don't work like that. I welcome everybody. I welcome all points of view. And I can tell you from experience that I've learned so much about people and myself through these types of conversations. And one thing I say to people all the time when they share their points of view with me is, tell me more. Tell me more. Help me understand. I want to get your perspective. And I think that's really important to do right now, because unless we start with that, we're not going to get to the real conversations and change that's needed in the world. As an advocate, I'm thinking of writing an article. Why don't you let me know if I should write this article? I'll tell you the title. And basically, it's going to be something like "The Days of the Angry Advocate Are Over." Being an advocate and just being angry and going on rants, I mean, who does that affect? It's a lot of noise, in my opinion. Maybe in the 80s, or before the 80s, it was effective, but it's really not effective, in my opinion, just to be angry and go on rants. That doesn't make change happen. Real advocacy, according to Jay Baer in the book Hug Your Haters. By the way, you have to read that book just based on the title, right? Hug Your Haters. Great book, actually on customer service. But he talks about advocacy is having conversations with your haters. And one thing I have said to a lot of people who told me that they are advocates against racism, I ask them, well, how many conversations do you have with people that are racist? Usually the answer is none. That's not advocacy. Going on social media is not advocacy. That's just preaching to the choir and being loud and making noise. So it's really, really important that if you care about an issue like racism, you address it head on and you talk to people who have different views than you. It's really, really important to do. And the other thing that I want to bring up is that, when it comes to expressing your voice, we live in a land of free speech. I love being an American. Actually, I need to start just talking about that more, because it's something that ever since I was a kid, learning about the American dream just inspires me. It inspires me every day to go to work, to be a better person, to make something of myself. And grateful to be in this country. Yes, it's got problems, but every place has problems in the world. But I love this country. And one thing that has really been bothering me as I watch the news is people engaging in acts of violence, looting, vandalizing. I get why people are doing it, but it's not right. It's not right, and it doesn't do anything. It just fuels more anger. You know, if you have a problem with a statue, and there are many statues I have a problem with, I don't believe it's right to just knock it down because I don't want to see it, you know. There are ways to go about it that are peaceful, that will actually lead to meaningful conversation and actually make the real change that you want to see. So I believe that it's really important to be a strong advocate. It's really important to talk to haters, but it's really important also to make sure that we do things in a peaceful way that's legal and ethical. That's really, really important to me. So I encourage you to keep that in mind as we navigate this difficult time. And something else I want to share with you, this was weird, and I'm really putting myself out there by sharing this in today's day and age, but I was in New York City, I was in a park, and I saw police, you know, just 2 police officers talking. And immediately my reaction was I felt sad. I felt really, really sad. And don't get me wrong, I believe that there are things regarding the police that need to get fixed, no different than any other group. But we need the police. The police protect us. The police serve us. And there's so many police out there in the world doing good things for the community. And police risk their lives every day. You know, yes, we have issues with black people, other people of color losing their lives to violence, but they're police getting shot all the time. And you can't be for one and not the other. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. And so I really think it's important that, yes, you advocate for police reform, if that's what you want, but also realize that you need the police. We can't live in a world without police. We're seeing that actually in New York City where, calls to defund the police and the violence is escalating. That doesn't make me feel safer. And again, it doesn't mean that I'm not acknowledging that there are problems. There are real problems that need to get fixed. Real problems with every group. So I encourage you, if you are an advocate who wants to make some change in the world around racism and who wants to make a change in the world around some of the negative things you see happening with the police, I encourage you to be loud about it, but I encourage you to also be effective about it and make sure that you start to really engage in real conversations. I challenge you to have real conversations with people that are different than you, people that think differently than you. And I promise you, as a company, first of all, I want to just thank my team out there. You know who you are, and you've helped me so much make this year pretty amazing for helping people. But I want to promise you something, that when you talk to me, if you reach out to me and you want to talk to me about something and you have a different point of view than me, I'm going to listen to you. Your point of view is important to me. I'm going to listen to you. And I'm going to listen with an open heart. And I'm going to listen until I understand. Because that's the only way that we're going to figure out how to connect and get on the same page. And I hope that when it's time for me to share my point of view, you listen to me. And so that being said, I'm really excited for the opportunity to help people this year in 2020. It didn't start off as a good year, and it's had its rough moments. But I promise to stay committed to supporting people in receiving the gift of emotional wellness. My name is Mike Vini. Thank you so much for watching this video. I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Be well, and I'll talk to you soon.